boy Manny here once again. Welcome back to another WNBA lineup advice video for you guys here at DFS Zone. And before I get started, like always, man, I appreciate greatly if you guys smash that like button. And if you have not, as of yet, subscribed to the channel and you really want to get as much information as possible, especially if you are looking to do NFL DFS and eventually in October do NBA, you definitely want to subscribe down below. And don't forget to put on those post notifications. This way you do not miss any of my new uploads as well as live shows, because I do both things from this point on in. All right. With that being said, today is Sunday, September the 2nd, 2018. We have elimination games here in the Atlanta versus Washington, Seattle versus Phoenix in the WNBA. This is it. One thing before I even go on and discuss the actual games, I just wanted to definitely send out a thank you to everybody who has been involved with me in the channel, supporting me and the channel during the course of the WNBA season. I greatly appreciate everything you guys have done for me, the subscribers, all the likes, especially as of late. Everybody is contributing, and at least I feel appreciative that I'm giving you information and you guys are appreciated, and you basically are letting me know with the likes and of course with the subscribing that you really do like the material. And it's not going to stop there. Like I said, folks, I am going to continue to do this through the NFL and NBA season. So a lot of work for me and a lot of things coming your way as far as giving you the best possible information to help you make those lineup choices every single week. I'm never going to give you a solid line. I'm going to basically tell you all the time what I think is the best possible play, because of the statistical data, not because of anything else. Statistical data, matchups, weather concerns, anything that may come up that will make me give you the best possible lines, I'm going to do. Okay, so again, if you're looking to do that and you're looking to be involved in NFL as well as NBA, you must subscribe to the channel. And of course, don't forget to put on those post notifications, that bell icon. You gotta click on that and put that on, so this way you do not miss any uploads or live shows. And I'll do live shows for the NFL as well as NBA too, so definitely do that. Okay, moving on forward, a couple pieces of news. Just wanted to send out a shout out to the winners yesterday for the DFS Zone Clash 2 tournament, 20 player here on Fanduel for the WNBA. We have Permastunt won the tournament. Okay, pulled out first place, and in second place was T-Gun 17. Congratulations to you guys. Myself, yours truly, finished third. Surprisingly, that was a last minute push by a few players on the court during the last 2 or 3 minutes. They got me over the hump. I wasn't even looking at the scoring, so I wasn't even sure. I didn't make a lineup thinking that I was going to do well, but it turned out I finished third, so I'll take that. We do have another 20 player, possibly the last one. Okay, I want to also make this make it very clear. If these are elimination games today. If Washington doesn't win and tie the series, and Phoenix doesn't tie the series with Seattle, this is going to be possibly, well, let's put it this way, it will be the last first look video for the WNBA for 2018. All right, sadly to say that this will be the end of it. Any one of the two teams lose, obviously that's going to eliminate that too, because I don't want to do videos, first look videos, or even live shows for one game slates. So I probably will pop in if that all comes into if all that comes into play at the end of today's games. What is going to happen is I will probably do a live show, maybe 1 or 2 during the course of the finals, but that's about it. I'm going to focus more on the NFL video for you guys, waiting for that. That information is going to come out to you by Tuesday or Wednesday of this week. I'm going to get working on that tomorrow, and I expect to be done already by Monday or Tuesday. So Tuesday evening or Wednesday morning, you'll probably have that video. Not sure when I'm going to do the live show. I'm going to leave that up to you guys. I want you to comment down below and tell me, what do you think is the best day? I really don't want to do it Sunday, because I definitely enjoy watching the Sunday ticket and look at it all the analysis, all the insight that I get from watching all the different stadiums with the broadcasters. And of course I listen to the other guys on CBS and on Fox as well. So I really enjoy doing that. I'd rather do the live show for the slate on Saturday night or Friday night or Saturday in the middle of the day. If it's good, if everybody prefers like 1 or 2 o'clock in the afternoon, I'll make it my business to get on live and we can discuss it for a full hour, an hour and 15 minutes, something like that, as opposed to squeezing it all in on a Sunday, especially that I also go to church on Sundays. So that will be tough for me. But again, let me know down below in the comment section. Also down below, there will be the 20-player tournament for today. Will be possibly the last one for the WNBA for the DFS Zone tournament. I know I just started them, but I want to move on to NFL. So this will probably be the last one, especially if these teams do not win their respective elimination games. So look for the NFL League is going to be in the description box already. I already sent that out to everybody. I think only one person have signed up for it, and I think already 3 or 4 people have signed up for the WNBA tournament today on DFS Zone. So again, look for those links will be down below in the description box. Sign up, let's get it going, especially the NFL League. You still got a few more days to lock them in. That's 20 players. If that fills out and we need to get another league started, I'll be more than happy to start another league. All right, guys, and that's pretty much the news right now. Okay, so let's go over the games, man. Wow, so I'm basically going to go over the games. I'm just going to go right through them. At this point in time, I don't need to really go over a lot of statistical stuff. You guys have gone, if anything, you can always look at yesterday's video and the video before then. But we know more or less where we stand, and we know what's going on. And we did have a couple of bummers yesterday, like what the hell happened with Angel Robinson not playing no minutes at all yesterday. I am really shocked about that because we discussed that on the live show, and we all thought, as well as myself, more importantly me, I was saying, hey, I think she was the best value play of the day in the forward spot, and she did not get any time on the floor, even with Talbot out. But what happened is that they moved Taurasi to the small forward spot, to the 3 spot, and they actually that hurt Taurasi, obviously, but it didn't hurt Yvonne Turner, who went bananas in the backcourt as the starting point guard. Had a solid game. I mean, her numbers were really great. 42.4 fantasy points, as we know. 7 of 13 from the floor, 54%. Shot nearly 30% from 3. Was a little bad there, 2 of 7 shots, but still nonetheless not that bad. Free throw line, she was 60%, but she did a lot of other things, especially defensively. 7 rebounds, 6 assists, helping out the offense, getting everybody involved. 3 steals. I mean, she had really good defensive game. I was really impressed on how she was all over Jewel Lloyd and Sue Bird. She was really tough, and that made it bad and made it really tough for Jewel. Check these numbers out for Jewel Lloyd and Sue Bird, which I told you guys you could have gone with any 4 of those guards. I hope a lot of you didn't play Jewel Lloyd. I did in a few of my lineups, and it hurt me. But Jewel Lloyd, 10.6 fantasy points, shot 1 of 10 from the floor. She only got 10% shooting from the floor and didn't hit no threes, took 2 shots, missed them both. They already knew that she was having a horrible game. They basically just started moving the ball around. Natasha Howard had a solid game. I was not on Natasha. I told you that I was willing to fade her. I thought it was going to be a tough matchup for her, and she had an excellent game. She stepped up. 39 fantasy points, 9 of 16 from the floor, 56%, had 10 rebounds and 4 steals. All right, so great job, Natasha Howard. And going back, Sue Bird, 0 of 8 from the floor, 0 of 5 from 3. The only positive is that she had 11 assists. That is a horrible. And looking back at these girls, after I saw these stats, looking back at these girls, they haven't had a game like this all season where they shot this bad. I mean, 10% pretty much shooting between the both of them combined. That is horrific. But the last time they had a poor game, they shot about 32% for the game combined together. Poor shooting night for both. And they went on to do better the very next game. So again, it's very tough to do this for 3 straight games. That's what Phoenix needs to do here, is to really shut down Lloyd, Stewart, and Bird. They did a great job yesterday. Things were not falling for them. Look, the numbers for real quickly for Miss Stewart. Stewart, I was on Stewart, and I told you I like Stewart for her price. I played her in some lineups. She got me 33.7 fantasy points, which is, if that's her floor, that's still pretty good for 7,800. But nonetheless, she shot poorly from the floor, and that's the reason why. Look at these shots. 7 of 23 from the floor, only 30%, and 1 of 8 from 3, 12%. She did have 11 rebounds and had a few assists, but my goodness, that's a horrible shooting night. And then towards the end, she was just chucking shots just to try to get the team back in it. She shot a couple of horrible threes. It was just a bad day for the whole entire stud, for Seattle's main stud players in Stewart, Lloyd, and Bird. But these girls will bounce back. They will bounce back. So again, we're not gonna just shut them down going into today. So so those are some of the surprising things I saw yesterday. Angel Robinson was really a big surprise, not playing at all. But nonetheless, let's go over these girls. I'm gonna go over them real quickly. Dawana Bonner, absolutely in play. She's just been a savage, man. She's been just a beast. She's been like this for 10 games toward the last 10 games of the season, 9 games of the season, and she's carried it over in the playoffs. Granted, she did have a 30 somewhat spot the other day, 35. I mean, if that's her floor, man, I'll take that any day at 7,700. 35 the other day, that was a dud game for her. She still shot 21 points from the floor. She just didn't contribute in other areas that really brings up her fantasy points. But look at yesterday, 27 floor points, 11 rebounds. She had the blocks, she had the steals, and she had less turnovers. So again, if she can go out there and do this against today, she'll be just fine. I think hands-on, she should be, 40-50% on. She's got to be in play. All right, Taurasi still in play as well, guys. She had a poor game, 3 of 11 shooting, 27%, 2 of 6 from 3. She was playing the 3 spot. Definitely a tough, it was tough for her in some sense, in some sort of way where she was not getting in the flow of the offense. But again, tomorrow, later on today is a different story. It's all, this, you can only shut her down for so long. So Taurasi will ball again, knowing that this is an elimination game for Phoenix. I mean, Seattle's still up 1 game. So it's not an elimination game for Seattle. Phoenix definitely needs to win this game to take this game back to Seattle. So we'll see how Taurasi does. She's in play. I still like Bonner for $100 more. Christy Tolliver has had her issues. She is not doing good. 20% shooting again yesterday, only 11% from 3, 1 of 9. So Christy Tolliver is just, she's just been really pitiful in this series. And she may just have a great game tomorrow, but I'm not on her at all, not for $7K. Now for $200 cheaper, I'll take some Tiffany Hayes. And I've been telling you guys, Tiffany Hayes is a good play for Atlanta. She doesn't have tremendous upside, but she shows some upside. The last 2 games, very, very nice for Tiffany Hayes. She is stepping it up. 37 in the previous game, 45 in the last game. 23 points, 11 rebounds, 3 assists. She had a solid game. 1 turnover. That is beautiful to see. She's a slasher. She's aggressive. She was just balling her butt off. Tiffany Hayes, like I said, her and Sykes are similar, and Sykes had a great game too. But I'd rather pay up to $800 and take Tiffany Hayes. Sykes, she could possibly get you 40, but I'd rather go with Tiffany Hayes. She can get you 30 to 35 safely, and if she can get you up to 40 like she did yesterday, awesome. Sue Bird and Jewel Lloyd are both in play. They will bounce back. So I am not at all going to tell you guys that they are not capable of giving you. Sue Bird still has the better upside between the 2 girls. 6,500 and 6,600 is still very, very good prices for these ladies. So I am not at all opposed to any one of these 2. Come down here a little lower. Sykes, not on Sykes still yet, but she had a good game. Bentley, you know her. She's pretty much offensive. She shoots a lot of shots. She didn't shoot a whole lot of shots yesterday, okay, but she did. She put up what? 19 fantasy points. She got 10 points from the floor. I mean, tomorrow may be one of those days where she takes more shots. Considering that Tiffany Hayes and Sykes were really, really shooting well, there was no need for Bentley to have a big game. They were doing fine with the other 2 girls, and that's how it is sometimes. Just the momentum and it's just getting the flow of the offense. Who is the hot hand? Some of the teams obviously know how to do that best. They give it to the core players. In this case, Tiffany Hayes is the leading scorer of this team with no Angel McCoughtry. She's got to be the one that takes the brunt of the shots and play the most minutes and get the ball in her hands as many times as possible. Brittany Sykes, again, could be someone to play, but I'd rather stay with Tiffany Hayes. Then Alex Bentley, Ariel Atkins, AA, not bad, not a bad play. Atkins, 29 fantasy points yesterday. We spoke about her in the live show, and some people asking if she was a good play, and I thought she was, and she played very well. 17 points, 8 rebounds, 1 assist, 29 fantasy points. All right. She shot 60% from the floor. I would like to see her take some more shots. She only took 10 from the floor, got 6 of 10, and shot 4 from 3, which is really low for her. She normally takes, 5, maybe 6, so maybe 1 or 2 more shots, 2 or 3 more from the floor would be nice. She would get up to that 30-somewhat range that we really would like to see her at. But she definitely, she put up a number that is at least respectable as far as value is concerned. So AA is definitely someone to consider again. later on today. Come down here, Renee Montgomery. Yes, we know. You know what I think about. I wasn't on Renee Montgomery yesterday. I decided to fade on her, and it was a good choice. 31 minutes, just didn't get anything going. 11 fantasy points. I will fade on her again later today. But again, she could be one of those sneaky plays. You know that she's capable of erupting for 35, 40 any given day. Natasha Cloud had a poor game as well. Shot 1 of 7 from the floor, only 14%. And that's why she's got an 8.7 and didn't get more minutes. It was just not happening for her. And it's a shocker. But I had told you, one of these girls has to step up. And it ended up being AA, and in the front court actually did very well. Surprisingly, which I was not at all in favor of. I was telling you guys that I was definitely favoring Atlanta's front court due to no Della Don, and the front court did well. Aerial Powers, we'll get to that. And Latoya Sanders were very, very good up front. But Ariel Atkins was the one that was the key here. That did pretty good for Washington as far as in the guards here, as far as here on Fanduel. Brianne January, we weren't on her. Canada could be someone to consider. She put up 16.2 fantasy points, 4 of 9 from the floor, 44%, and 1 of 1 from 3. And shot also 3 free throws, 2 of 6 for 66%. So 4,500, same price as yesterday. I think she's good to. As Friday, she is good to go. Miss Ruffin Pratt, same thing. She's still in play for a value play at 3,700. It looks like Monique Curry is not getting any time on the floor. She was only played 8 minutes in 3 games in this series. So I would say Ruffin Pratt is the one who's getting the brunt of the minutes. I think she got 24 yesterday. I keep saying yesterday because it's just past midnight, New York time. Friday night, 26 minutes, 14.5 fantasy points, almost 15 spot. The best play of the day Friday night was Yvonne Turner, who just erupted and exploded for 42.4 fantasy points. Took full advantage of her time on the court. She did so well that obviously they left her on the court for 37 minutes. She will be playing a lot of minutes again today. As well as she played, they got to play her again. So definitely at 3,600, she's a nice value play, guys. 40-point upside, as you can see. So Miss Turner in play, and that's pretty much it as far as guards and the entire slate. So the best play for me is Bonner. The best value play is definitely Turner. Don't forget about Miss Pratt, and don't forget Miss Canada in the bottom tier. In the mid tier, Tiffany Hayes, best play, and then don't fall asleep on Bird or Lloyd. They will bounce back. Well, I don't know which one will have the great game. I would not be at all surprised that both of them ball their butts off and play very solid games. Mid-tier here, AA is definitely the best here in the 5,000 range. Has the best upside. Is playing fairly well right now. Watch out for Bentley. And that's pretty much it. We go to the forwards. Brittany Griner, obviously in play. Elena Della Don is not going to be 100%. So it's just Washington is going to have to win this game without her. I don't care. Game time decision. I will not be playing her. She is not going to be 100% even if she plays. So I hope that they just let her rest and hope that they can come through and win Game 4 and make this a 5-game series. And maybe by Game 5 she may be ready. But I think it's still a little too soon. After that, what I saw, I'm really surprised she didn't tear anything. So God bless her for that, that she only has a bruise. But Griner and Stewart are both in play. Obviously, they're still the same price. I still am favoring Brianna Stewart. Granted, like I gave you earlier in the video, Brianna Stewart didn't shoot well. 7 of 23. She took massive shots. She will take massive shots again later today. And maybe today she'll shoot at 40, 45% or better, or 50%. And this series is going to be over if she is that hot. So Brianna Stewart is definitely my best play for me as far as I'm concerned. As far as price, I'd rather take her. But Brittany Griner is definitely in play. Griner didn't do too bad. 10 of 15 from the floor, 66% with 11 rebounds. And she put up 36.2, 36.3, 36.2, 36 and 35 minutes. It's not that bad at all. And Stewart, obviously with the bad shooting, she shot 1 of 8 from 3. So if she buries at least half of those, she's going to be close to a 50 spot. All right, so just look at it that way. Latoya Sanders in play, man. I wasn't on Latoya. I thought it would be a tough matchup to deal with Breland and Elizabeth Williams, and she went out there and she balled her butt off with Miss Powers, and they did very well to keep the game close. So Latoya Sanders is in play. 43.6 fantasy points yesterday after 33 and 30 in game 1 and 2. She shot 5 of 10 from the floor, 50%, and 2 of 3 from the free throw line. Had 8 massive rebounds, which she needed badly, and 4 assists, and she had 6 big blocks, and that brings in 6. That's 18 fantasy points right there. That really helps out us. And this is the key with Sanders, Breland, Howard, and Williams. These girls are shot blockers. So it's about taking the two that may just ball their butts off. That's a little, guys, that's a major strategy there. If you'll always look at, if you're not looking for upside in points, you're looking for upside in rebounds, upside in assists, or upside as far as blocks and steals. And when we look at these four ladies right here, that's what that's their core of their game, man. Blocks, steals, Sanders, Breland, Howard, and Williams. Williams, Breland for Atlanta, and Sanders definitely for Washington, and Howard for Seattle. So you can actually, if you can pick the right two girls here, you should be okay, especially if they go out and they ball their butts off to the point that they defend that well. So always keep that into mind when you're making decisions, even going into the NBA season. I always look at it that way too. So you can't look at point upside. You got to look at, all right, fantasy points are important. Where do I gain the most fantasy points? Well, if you gain the most fantasy points on steals, and on blocks, which are 3 points apiece. So if you have a player that's consistently capable of getting 3 or 4 or 5 blocks, granted 1 or 2 games they may get 1 or 2 only, but they have that upside that they can get 3 more. You're talking about 9 additional more points in fantasy points. So steals and blocks, look for those upsides in those areas as well, okay, in fantasy sports, especially in this sport, WNBA and basketball, WNBA and NBA. All right, so Sanders is in play. Jessica Breland, again, still in play. So is Natasha Howard and Elizabeth Williams. Breland and Williams were their tandem was 34 and 33 or something, 30 respectively. We have Breland at 7,200, pretty much need 36, and she got 35 in 33 minutes. That's more than 1 fantasy point per minute. Granted, we were hoping she would get 40 plus, but she may do that today. And she's more than capable of doing it. She has 30 plus in 3 straight games, and you count this one here, pretty much 31 plus in 4 straight games. And of course, this is what you can see. She has almost up to 5 to as much as 7 block upside. And that is important. Those are numbers you always got to consider when you think about Breland. So Breland in play. Natasha Howard, same thing, had an awesome game, 39 fantasy points. All right, in 29 minutes, 19 points, 10 rebounds, and 4 steals. She didn't have the blocks, but she had the steals. Again, 4 steals. That's 12 additional fantasy points. It makes a big difference in that 39 right there. So something to remember when you think about Natasha Howard, if she's going to get some steals or she's going to get some blocks. She had 9 of 16 from the floor, 56%, 10 rebounds, and 4 steals. It's a very solid game for Natasha Howard. And she's going to need that. And she did that, 39 in a losing effort. Elizabeth Williams, 6,700. She is $400 cheaper. She is in play. Miss E. Will, 30.1 fantasy points, pretty much a 30 spot in 28 minutes. She's usually fairly close to 1 fantasy point per minute on the regular. We definitely would love to see her get. She has that 40-point upside, so you could definitely consider that there. In this 3 games here, she's averaging, 30, you figure maybe 30, 31, maybe 31 fantasy points per game. But in the 3 games, she's not, the typical blocks are not there. She's had 3 in 3 games. Didn't have 1 in game 2, and as you can see during the course of the season, she's been capable of getting 4, 5 at a time. So she has 4, 5 block upside. If she can have one of those games like that here, that will definitely help Atlanta wrap this thing up tomorrow, later on today. So Miss Williams in play. I'm not on Clark. Ariel Powers, obviously, if there's no Della Don, you got to consider her at 4,300, and she had a nice 36 spot on Friday night, 21 minutes. I mean, she's just smashed, exceeded value big time. And I said that she would probably get close to it, and she got way past that. She did very well. 18 points, 8 rebounds, 3 assists, 1 block, 1 steal. She pretty much filled out the stat sheet, did a little bit of everything everywhere. If she can do that again, she will be just all right. And not only that, Washington may have a chance to force this into a 5th game and hopefully get Della Don back for game 5. Again, I could be wrong. Della Don could be playing later on, but I would think she is not 100%. For me, that is not what we saw the other night. Is not 100%. You could be that 100% that quickly. So Powers is in play. Langhorne played very well too, 4,200. Still like Powers a little bit more, just simply because of the factors that she's going to have to play some massive minutes. Crystal Langhorne doesn't play as many minutes, but she is efficient in her time on the floor. So Langhorne, definitely someone to consider as well, 4,200. I had told you that she was someone to consider the other day. She put up 18 fantasy points in 14 minutes. That's more than 1 fantasy point per minute. And in the course of the last few games, she's been playing 9 to as much as 14 minutes, even as high as 21 minutes. So she may get that same amount of time. There's that possibility. You never know with the WNBA. You're going to see when we get into the NBA season that things are slightly, I will not say slightly, they will be drastically more different. This is a little bit more predictable as far as whom plays, who's in the rotation, and more or less how many minutes they get. Not so choppy like this. So, but Langhorne is definitely in play. She has some nice post-up moves. I think that she'll be on the floor for at least 14 or 15 minutes again. Billings didn't get, I don't think Billings got a whole lot of minutes the other day, but she is one of the value plays. She did get 11 and got 11, so 1 fantasy point per minute. Could be someone to consider, but Langhorne is playing a few more minutes more, and Powers is in a more of a position. If there's no Delananda, she's going to probably get 20 plus minutes. So I would rather take the minutes and the upside that she may be able to get another 30 or better. I will be all over Powers if that is the case. Miss Hawkins definitely was on her. I told you guys I kind of liked her the best here on Friday night, and she played well enough for me. I'm pleased with that. 19 minutes, 20 fantasy points, more than 1 fantasy point per minute. She started off pretty good, kind of cooled down in the second half, but Miss Hawkins is definitely in play, guys. Definitely in play. T-Hawk, she shot 40% and 32% from the floor and had 9 rebounds. Those were her stat lines. Corny Paris, don't know. McGee Stafford could possibly be still a value play at 3,700. Same thing with Robinson. That's a shocker. 3,200. Comes out there and no minutes at all on the floor. I have no idea what that was all about. But you know what? It all comes down to Taurasi started the 3. They just felt that they were going to go with Taurasi as much as possible. They used a little bit of Mitchell, not a whole lot. And that's what happened. Robinson took a back seat. And you know what? It's probably going to happen again today. So don't be surprised you get a few minutes today, especially if Taurasi is stumbling or has a lot of turnovers, or more importantly, she'll probably sit a little bit more for a few minutes if she is turning over the basketball. I mean, not turning over the, fouling if she's committing fouls. So I think Angel Robinson is going to probably get another backseat again today, because Taurasi is like, she's the beast there. So she's going to play massive minutes. And that's pretty much it, man. You know, Camille Little got a few minutes. She was the only one who really got some minutes. She got 10 minutes, 4.6 fantasy points. I mean, you can consider her at the bare minimum of 3,000. Crystal Thomas, I believe she didn't get anything. No, nothing at all. So, yeah, that's what it comes down. I know Hines Allen got maybe 2 or 3 minutes. I think I remember seeing her on the floor. She got 7 minutes, okay, 4 fantasy points. So, yeah, so that's what it comes down to, man. That is pretty much it. I mean, it's really the same individuals. It's a matter of whom is going to get hot, which pairings you're going to go with. I think lineups are going to all pretty much, for all of us, are going to be similar to what we probably all played the other day, but we might just mix and match 1, maybe possibly 2 different players. But that's pretty much it, guys. Again, I know it's pretty quick. It's choppy a little bit, but, you know, you guys already have this general information. You can always go back and look at some of the previous videos starting this series, and you'll be able to get more of an idea of field goal percentages and so on, and how well they've done against one another during the course of the season, as far as front court play and as far as back court play, as far as teams are concerned. But this is pretty much where we at. Again, if this happens to be the last video for the WNBA for First Look, again, I truly appreciate all of you guys that have given me the support and being involved with DFS Zone. I want you guys to stay aboard. And let's look forward to the NFL season. Let's try to make some serious money there, because there's a lot of money to be made in the NFL. It's the biggest sporting event in DFS. So a lot of money is transferring hands every weekend. All right, ladies and gentlemen, so let's get busy with that. And then, of course, the NBA is the second sport that really has the big contests too. So a lot of money could be made from now to the end of the year. So let's get it. Let's get it and let's get it on. Again, drop a like on the video. All right, guys, comment down below, what do you want to do with the NFL as far as a live show? Do you want to do it a Saturday night, Saturday afternoon, or Friday night? Let's make a decision as a community. You guys give me an idea, and at least I'll take it from there. I am all good for Friday, and I'm all good for Saturday. I prefer not to do it Sunday before game time, like I do pretty much before lock. If I have to, I will do it, but I mean, I would rather go over the slate on Friday or Saturday. More importantly, I think Saturday will be the best day. And again, remember, NFL League, you want to be involved, it's on down below in the description box. Take a look at the 2 tournaments. The 20 player for the WNBA today, which will be the last one, and then of course the NFL League here at DFS Zone for Fanduel will be down there in the description box. I think 1 or 2 people have already signed up. We need about 17 or 18 more, so get yourself busy with that. Again, man, that's pretty much it, man. Good luck. We will have a live show. It'll be the last, hopefully, maybe not so much. I won't say the last show. I could probably do a couple of shows, like I said at the beginning of the video, as far as the WNBA finals. What we'll do is we'll definitely have a live show tomorrow for this slate, and it could possibly be the last show, or if both of these teams, Washington and Phoenix, win their games and move these games all to 5th game, then we will have one more first look video as well as another live show. So see you guys tomorrow. The games start at 3, so we'll be live at 2 o'clock. I will send out the messages on Twitter to remind people, on our Facebook group as well as on Instagram, for tomorrow's 2 o'clock live stream. I'll see you guys then. You guys have a great night.